Okay, so one of the new indicators that is now released is called the ice volume zones indicator. Okay, so what is the ice indicator? First of all, it's a new indicator. Once you have upgraded your toolkit, you can open a chart, okay? And once you've opened a chart, a couple different things here. You can go to indicators and pull up your indicator list, and you will now see it right here as ice volume zones. Okay, and you can add it to a chart. We do have a template made with it already. I'm just kind of going to show you both different ways here. But that is the ice indicator. It's called ice volume zones. Once you add it to your chart, on the right hand side, as all of our indicators, there's a bunch of different settings. Okay, do not mess with these settings. As of right now, all these settings are defaulted to exactly where you need them to be. Okay, so nothing you need to touch here. All right, if you start playing with these settings over here, you'll mess some things up, and you don't want to do that. Just leave those settings just as they are. Okay, and then hit OK. So I'm going to go ahead and let this apply. It's going to take just a minute, and while we're talking about that, I'm going to show you where you can go, because it's going to take a moment to load. If you're on the Apex website, okay, now when I post these videos later, I'm going to post these links, these direct links, okay, with the videos. All right, so a couple different ways you can find it. We'll get you the links for it, but we have a complete training section in the forum that Lori and Daryl put some time into, and Lori's gone through and just put some awesome screenshots in here. But we have a complete forum area showing you exactly how to use these, a couple different ways they're used, what they're for, how they work, and so on. Okay, and it's called the tips and trick for ice volume zones. All right, and this particular section here is for futures or spreads. Kind of goes through explaining to you what are ice zones, what is the indicator for, what does it do, what does it identify, and then per usual, there are screenshots showing you how to use it with notes on it, screenshots showing you trades. You can see some different things here. You can see on this particular chart here, I guess on both of these charts, there's the Apex Elite and the Trend Catcher is on these charts as well. But some good examples here of some trades off bonds, some more bonds, oil. Lori loves those bond trades. Right here is some example on NASDAQ showing also using the Profit Hunter system. Okay, so there's examples here on how to use ICE in conjunction with Binary Hunter, Trend Catcher, Apex Elite, and then towards the bottom, again, a discussion area. Okay, now, like I said at the top here, this is tips and tricks for ICE volume zones for futures and spreads. So if you're a futures trader or you're trading Nadex spreads, this would be the section you want to look at. Now, if you scroll to the bottom here, right before you get to the discussion area, right here, see right here, ICE zone post for binaries. So if you're a binary trader, you can click here, or you can go directly to this. You can go directly to this forum post. We'll post them both for you. But they're all linked together. Lori did a great job of linking them together at the bottom. This again kind of explains what the ICE volume zone indicator is, what it does, and then some examples of an example of how to trade it for on binaries, what you're looking for, okay, on binaries. So whether you're a binary trader, futures trader, or spread trader, there's separate forum sections there for you. So this is a great place to learn. A lot of you are familiar with how to use this already because you've been in the rooms, you've seen Lori's posts, you've asked her a lot of questions, you've seen them on charts in the room. A lot of you are very familiar with how to use this already. For those of you that are not, this is a perfect place for you to go here to read up on it, see some screenshots, ask any questions you might have. Okay, but the first thing you want to do is get it loaded on your chart, kind of play with it a little bit, get an idea of feel for how it works, and then you can hop in here. All right, so that is the training area there. Okay, what is ICE? What is this ICE volume zones indicator all about? Well, it calculates and identifies powerful magnet areas on a daily basis. It's almost like a volume profile indicator on steroids. Okay, that's kind of what we call it. But it identifies these powerful magnet levels. All right. It's also programmed to work on FX. Some of the volume profile indicators only work on futures. This will work on FX or futures. Okay, and you're not having to wait on someone to calculate it, and you're not held up at all. It'll immediately plot there for you on your chart. It'll show historical levels as well. Some other indicators like this will only show the levels of today or the current level. It won't show you historical. All right, and it calculates on true tick data. Okay, outside of NinjaTrader for accuracy. It uses a bunch of different processors to do that. Therefore, it will load after the chart loads. Okay, so for example, remember when I was opening this chart earlier, we had the chart open, but I said, hey, give it a minute. It's going to take a minute for that to load because it actually loads after the chart loads. All right, so do not throw the indicator on and then say, hey, it didn't load, let's submit a ticket, let's close our chart down and try it again. You have to give it a couple minutes to load. All right, and you will see the lines load on your chart just like you see here. Okay, and let's see here. Jack, a little bit different, but very, very similar. Okay, a little bit different than those magnet levels, but very similar. And one of the other indicators I'm going to show you here also identifies some magnet type support and resistance levels as well. So just standalone by itself, this is what the chart will look like. Okay, these are what the levels look like, and you can go back again, they're on here historically, and you can see these levels. Some days there's a big gap between these levels, some days there's not. Some days you kind of have to squish your chart down a little bit to see them. If you have the chart fully zoomed out, you might be way below a level or way above a level. Sometimes you have to squeeze it down to see them. Okay, but that's how they will look on a chart standalone by itself without having elite or trend catcher on them. Let's see here. So generally, now this is just a very general, I'm just making a video here to show you what the indicator is. This is not necessarily step by step how to use it with a system. Okay, generally you need exceeding volume to break the high and low lines. If there's no exceeding volume, it will likely bounce between magnet levels and ice lines. All right, and I'm going to pull, let me throw some expected volume on here real quick just to give you a quick example of that, and then we will keep moving on here. All right, so let's let that load for a second. So generally you'll need exceeding volume to break through. Okay, if it's not breaking through one of these high or low buy or sell levels with volume, it's normally just going to kind of bounce and be a little choppy. Okay, and be kind of range bound there between there. And you do need to use other indicators or systems in addition to ICE. Okay, it's not meant to just throw on as a standalone indicator and trade just with that. Okay, yeah, Mike, like I said, you said for some reason it did not load. Like I said, once you load your chart, it'll take a couple minutes for it to load. Okay, it loads, since it's calculated with servers outside of Ninja for accuracy, the chart will load first and it'll take a couple minutes for it to pop on. And then like I said, sometimes you might not see it. If your chart's fully focused, fully open, you may not see it. You may have to actually bring your chart in to see the levels. You may be above or below a level. Okay, so all right, let me kind of go back here and just give you a quick example. Let's see here. Perfect example. Look right here. See these different levels here? Okay, see how the market is just kind of bouncing in between here, bouncing in between here. Look at volume, nothing going on there. All right, but then what starts happening is volume starts picking up right here, kind of starts to break that level, and then volume, now this is right at market opening, so you want to be aware of that. But then as volume starting to pick up here, it's breaking a level, going below a level with volume. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find some others. Okay, you can kind of see on NQ, may not be the best perfect example here. Here's again kind of bouncing in between those levels. But if it breaks a level with some exceeded volume, okay, see right here, it didn't, there was exceeding volume, but it didn't really break through those levels. If it breaks through a level with exceeding volume, okay, here's another good example, kind of bouncing, then it's breaking down through a level with some exceeding volume. And in addition to that, whether you're using trend catcher or elite or profit hunter, okay, you don't want to just sit here and trade on this and take trades of breaking levels with exceeding volume. Okay, you want to have other indications as well, whether you're using trend catcher, meaning, hey, it's breaking short with some exceeded volume, and I also just got a trend catcher short. I'm feeling pretty good about that trade. Okay, or I just got an E, feeling pretty good about that trade. Okay, now again, if you go back over here to the forum post area, you could go through and Lori gives some perfect examples of that. Okay, shows with notes and everything. Hey, now I know there's a lot on this chart. You have to take a minute to take a look at it, but bouncing around, you know, before breakout, but couldn't quite break out long. Then you've got a valid red, apex red E going short, volume's meeting it. Got an E there. It's breaking through with volume. She'll kind of show you some examples of that. Okay, you want to have more than just these lines. This indicator is not a system, it's an indicator to add on to help you with these other systems. Okay, so that in a nutshell is what the ICE indicator is. Lori, do you have anything you'd like to add to any of that? Otherwise, everybody kind of has a basic understanding of how to load the indicator. It's on your toolkit now, how to load it. Wait a minute for it to load, okay? And what it is. Basically, it's identifying those levels, and normally those can be support and resistance type levels. And for the market to break through those levels, you normally need exceeding volume, along with, you know, something else. Along with the system you're using, whether that's profit hunter, trend catcher, or elite. Okay, Laura, you got anything to add there as far as the basic description there? Just giving Laura a quick minute here. Let's check out a couple questions here. Yes, Rob, they'll stay on. Mike, it just really depends. It really depends on, you know, what system you're using. You know, whether you're using trend catcher, you're using elite, or you're using binary hunter. It's just kind of another, you know, indicator that you can use to give you more confidence in that trade, because not only are you getting a, you know, long or short elite entry or a long or short trend catcher entry, you know, you're also at one of those levels breaking through with volume. Makes you feel a little more comfortable about that. But also another way to use it, and you'll see it here in the forum post, is, which one was it? This one right here. Okay, so here Lori's, you know, showing this example. She calls it the stars aligning. It broke through, see the red line here? It broke through this red ICE line. All right, there was an elevator right before it. You had a valid E going short. So not only is that helping her be more confident in that trade, okay, but she has another magnet level down here to shoot for. Okay, so not only are these levels of, hey, it's breaking through a certain level with volume, but where would a good expectation of where the market might go, okay, would be the next level. And when it's getting to that next level of break, you know, Do I want to maybe tighten up my stops? Just like we would do a deviation level, right? Hey, it's breaking through this level with volume. Where's a good profit target of where it might go? That next level. Well, where's also a good level where I may want to tighten up my stop, trail my stop, maybe even get out, or maybe even get out of half of my position, would be that next level there. Okay, so it can be used two ways there, not just as an extra confirmation of direction or confidence in the trade, but also of where to kind of shoot for. Okay, where do I think the market's going to go? All right, so that indicator is now available for you. That's just a quick, very quick, I know this is very basic, but a quick basic example of what it is. All right, and how they work, what they're identifying there. I mean, just go back and put it on your chart and look at it. Watch how often. Okay, see, like right here, remember I said sometimes you have to shrink your charts to see the other level. Where's that red level? Right there. There we go. Okay, but you can just go back and let me focus it again, and you can just watch and see again here, kind of bouncing in. When it breaks here, what is it doing? It's breaking with exceeded volume. Okay, here when it's coming back up into the zone, what happens here? It's breaking with exceeded volume. You can just see for yourself over and over again how the market will kind of bounce in between those ranges there of those two levels. Okay, but then boom, for it to break out of it, you normally have breakouts with exceeded volume. Okay, so pop it on your chart. You'll see it, get to play with it a little bit, and get to compare it to whatever system you're using. So I'm not really spending a whole lot of time today on exactly how to use it with Elite, exactly how to use it with Trend Catcher, exactly how to use it with Profit Hunter, exactly how to use it on 5-minute and 20. There's so many different things we can do with it. This is just a basic, hey, it's out there for you. Start playing with it. Start asking questions about it. And we'll start getting some more posts here in the forum post area, but there are examples in here of different ways to use it. Okay, so a couple of you are asking, all right, where will this video be? Where will some of the training be? We will pop a copy of this video in this forum section here. We will pop this video under most recent webinars like we normally do, but also in the active Apex investing courses. We do have a course, Apex Indicators course. It will go into there as well, be one of the indicator courses. And all of those videos right next to the video will have links to the forum section. Okay. And we'll get into a little bit more on what do, what are all the little ways you can use it with the different systems, what does each line mean, and so on. Okay, so hop on there, upgrade your toolkit, and pop that indicator on your charts, start playing with it, and hop into the forum area. Okay, you'll have lots of information there. So let me stop this video.